Yo, it's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I'm gonna be giving y'all my full card predictions for UFC Vegas 34. Sneaky card. I think a lot of really good fights on here. Yeah, really good co-main event. Hopefully, the Pantoja Royval fight is a co-main event, but I think it's a really sleeper main event. I think you got two middleweights that want to win, and they're gonna go at it. So I think it's going to be a good fight. And yeah, you got a slew of hungry contenders, and yeah, really, really good card. And yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, let's get to it, man. First fight of the night, Martinez versus Trevin Jones. I mean, Trevin Jones has been slated to fight a lot lately. I think Ronnie Lawrence, and then I forgot the other cat's name, the one that knocked out Eddie Wineland last fight. But it is what it is. Yeah, Trevin's been scheduled, but man, Trevin is legit, dude. Mario Batista and Tamir Valev, both knockouts. Like, these are guys I thought were gonna school Trevin. And I thought Tamura was close to schooling him, and he kind of got a little cocky, so he got what he deserved. But I think he's kind of looking in the mirror in his opponent in terms of, this is a young, hungry guy he's going to be fighting that kind of was like him, basically coming on short notice, basically legit knockout power, and kind of looking to take his spot. Mario Martinez is not no bum, man. There's certain things I don't like about his game, but he's very young. He's 25, so he has a lot of room to improve. But one thing he got that you can't deny, he got natural power. I mean, like, I think 8 KOs. The guy literally either I watched some of his fights, bro. Like, honestly, all he's going to either do is roll and go for the lead hook, or he's do the step back overhand. And obviously the levels of competition is completely different than Trevin Jones, but man, it kind of, he has real knockout power. And he did get submitted by Draco Rodriguez. Depends on how you look at Draco. I thought Draco did a lot better in his last fight than obviously against his pops. What's his name? Dude, I forgot. Fucking Ariel's little brother, bro. How did I forget his name? Frost Hobby. Well, not Frost Hobby, but Frost Hobby's actual brother. I think Eamon Zahabi, something like that. Yeah, it is what it is. So it depends on how you look at that loss to Draco. It's all up in the air. But I mean, he does have legit knockouts. I mean, like, I seen him, bro. He can really knock someone out. So there is a bit of a threat. And I have been noticing these motherfuckers on this short notice shit have been killing it lately. And Trevin Jones was leading the way last year. So you kind of got to look at it from that perspective. But based on just actual skill and just, his based on their last two fights, I mean, Mana has fought, what's his name? Jose Johnson, 12-6, right? Nothing wrong. I'm not attacking the record. And Casey Jones. And fucking Mario Batista 8-1, and Tamir Valev 16-2. It's like the levels of competition. In terms of reach, they match up really, really well. They basically got the same reach, both of them 70-70. In terms of height, Mana is the taller guy. He's 5'10" and 5'7". So Trevin is not 5. He's 5'10" and Trevin is 5'7". My bad. But in terms of that, there's not a real big difference. But yeah, Trevin's he's had more fights. He's a lot older, and I just think Trevin hits just different, and Mana's never been finished. I will admit that, but Mario Batista has a really good chin, and I was shocked when he knocked him out. So I'm gonna take Trevin Jones by second round KO, even though Mana hasn't shown a bad chin, and he is a Hispanic cat. So they got really good chins. So, man, you know what? No, I gotta take Trevin by decision. I was thinking about going with I just don't see it. Mana has never been. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. Next fight, Abdulrazak Alhassan versus Antonio Braga Neto. I mean, I don't know if this fight's still happening. I heard that it might not happen. I don't know. But I mean, I think man, it breaks my heart to say it, but Alhassan is instant fade. He is instant fade material. Both guys have not really done anything awesome. Like, I don't think Antonio's in any position to act like, he's going to come out here and destroy Alhassan. But, I mean, Alhassan's last fight, Jacob McQuan, that's where I drew the line. Like, I really like Alhassan, and he's not my favorite fighter, but like, I mean, I like the cat and I want to see him win. But like, bro, if you're losing to Jacob McQuan, and like, I know Jacob McQuan has a lot of grappling accolades and stuff like that, but that dude he's a nobody, man. That's Phil Haas' son, bro. Like, you're losing to a guy named Megatron, all right, and then you lost to the guy that lost to the guy named Megatron. You know what I'm saying? If you're Alhassan, so I know a lot of losing. But I mean, and Antonio has wins over Anthony Smith. He fucking knee-barred him, but it was like in 2013. It was a while back, but I mean, he got knocked out by Trevin Giles, but that was 3 years ago. So he's at least his chin is rested, right? And the other fight 7 years ago was against Clint Helster, so it was a split decision. He's primarily a jiu-jitsu guy. He's a grappler. I don't know why they keep giving Alhassan grapplers. Like, honestly, they should have him fight some, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a fucking bruiser that he could fight. But, I mean, somebody that was going to swing with him, you know, and not give a fuck. You know, it'd probably be more entertaining. And I don't think Alhassan is training with Fortis MMA anymore. I think he left those guys, and it's just, I don't know, bro. Like, no disrespect to the cat, but, I mean, and Antonio does have the reach advantage, 77 to 73, but it's like, and Alhassan's 36, but it's just, he hasn't been the same since the, you know, I don't want to make accusations, but, I mean, when he got accused of that, you know, by that rape victim, like, I'm going to say it just straight up, he just looked like it deflated him almost, like, he just, it took prime years off of his life, and I feel like, I think it did something mentally to him, you know. You just hear about when you get accused of something maybe you didn't do or something like that. It's just very mentally draining, and you see guys break down, you know. And I don't know if he did it. I'm gonna assume he did it because out of respect. But I mean, he just seems. It seems like he's just playing catch up, you know. It seems like he's trying to get back where he used to be, and even when he fought Minor Lazez, that's what it seemed like, and it's just crazy to me. Like, his most recent win was over Nico Price, and I know Nico's coming off losses, but Nico, man, he's competitive still. Like, he's still he's still a fighter. He's still an athlete. Like, I'm not trying to say Alhassan is not an athlete or fighter, but it's just, you know, Nico is going tooth and nail, right? That was a 28-29 decision loss. He lost to Pereira. He basically beat Donald Cerrone, right? He went tooth and nail with Vicente Luque. But fucking Alhassan wants to lose to Jacob McQuan. Like, I was losing my brain watching that dumbass fight. So I think Antonio gets the submission in the second round. Alhassan, unless he makes some dramatic changes in it. When was that fight? That was 3 months ago. So I don't know if he can make dramatic changes in 3 months. Obviously Antonio said, like, what? He's had 3 years and 7, basically close to 4 years, right? To improve. I think he's gonna improve. I think he's gonna look a lot better. And he losing to Trevin, what's his name? Trevin Giles, right? It's not a bad loss to have. He's not a bad fighter. So I think Antonio gets the second round submission, and he's a legit jiu-jitsu guy, and he's been fighting for so fucking long too. Like, he's been in a part of MMA for a minute. So I think Antonio Braga Neto is gonna get the submission in the second round. I know I went off on Alhassan for a second, but it is what it is. Roosevelt Roberts versus Ignacio Bono. Oh my God, Bahamondes. I think. Oh man, I had it in my head. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I thought I had it for a second. Ignacio. I don't even know how I said even the first name. Ignacio. Bahamondes, right? It's something like that. But yeah, good fight right here. Both guys, I mean, major letdowns in their last fight. I mean, Roosevelt Roberts made Kevin Croom's fucking holiday. Like, come on, bro. Gave him a goddamn job in the UFC. I think Kevin Croom, who did he fight after that? I think he fought Alex Caceres, right? And it was nasty watching that. And I blame that all on fucking Roosevelt Roberts for fumbling the bag like that. But And then Ignacio, I mean, made John McDessie look like fucking Canelo out there. Like, come on, bro. I swear. But the funny thing is they've mashed them up together. I mean, Ignacio is, I honestly, he's just a Muay Thai fighter. Like, he's a very stiff Muay Thai fighter. He throws straight shots, but he throws lazy jabs and twos just to set up his head kicks and his front kicks. But the problem is that it's very, very easy to throw an overhand or, a counter right over the lazy jab. If you have a really lazy jab, I mean, it's just bad. And that John Medeski kind of exposed him in the first round, hurt him bad. Yeah, just basically timing him and throwing his right hand over the jab. And it's just like, dude, it's like, what are you doing? Now, Roosevelt Roberts, I mean, he looks like he has good hands when he trains, but he looks more like, I don't know what Roosevelt's style is. I don't know what he wants to be, but he kind of fights like an idiot. Like, no disrespect to the cat, but I mean, who did he lose to? It was Jim Miller, right? Yeah, I saw that. I remember I saw that coming like a mile away. This is when Roosevelt had some fans, right? So I remember people were telling me, oh, man, Roosevelt's legit, this and that, man. But it's like, I see a kid that, like, calls himself a striker, but he's a clinch fighter, right? I guess I can call him a dirty boxing clinch fight. I don't know what his style is. But Ignacio seems like he's a little younger. And I think he's just really, he's a decent Muay Thai fighter. I don't want to disrespect the kid, but I mean, he got to work on his hands. I think Roberts might have the better boxing, but I think where Roberts really shine is his clinch work. And he's a bit of a grappler too. But Roosevelt, I mean, his clinch work against Brock Weaver, and Brock Weaver ain't nothing special. All he's good at is beating up dogs or whatever. He's not even and I don't even have a fucking, I'm not one of these psychos that love dogs, like, but I mean, I'm just being honest. But yeah, like I was saying, I think Roosevelt Roberts, I think he'll probably win this fight in the clinch. I think he'll clinch him up. I think he'll dirty box him up. Now, I'll give something. Ignacio is super tough. He's like a zombie. He will go forward. Roosevelt, I mean, not the smartest IQ. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ignacio could pull out a W. He's a gritty fighter. I mean, he made that Medeski fight kind of close near the end of that fight. But I got to take Roosevelt Roberts by decision. I think the clinch work and, I think Ignacio's a little younger. And Roosevelt's 20. He's been doing it a little longer than him. Even though I feel like, I know Ignacio has more fights, I feel like Roosevelt has been doing it longer. Or maybe Roosevelt started. But I just feel like his style and the way he matches up, I think he gets the W here. Sorry about that. Next fight, B. Malecki versus Nunes. Josiane, I think Josiane, my bad. Josiane Nunes. She actually does look like Amanda Nunes. I seen that. I think, okay, nothing against the girl, Malecki or whatever her name is, but a girl with the nickname Bad News, but I mean, I can't pick her. I'm sorry, y'all. I think that when I look at, I know y'all gonna get mad at me, but when I look at both of these hoes, I look at one hoe that look like a dude, and I look like another hoe that should be in the club. So, the way you gotta pick this fight, you gotta pick the hoe that look like a dude, man. I'm sorry. Oh my god, y'all go kill me. But I mean, Nunes she got a lot of finishes. She has decent grappling. She has more experience. Babe Malecki, I mean, she looked good in her last two fights. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. One was a decision. She got the rear naked choke, and she lost one fight in tough. But that was 2 years ago, so I don't really look at that. But I mean, she's being 2-0. I mean, she's fighting at a Force MMA, so they're. I think I don't know if she still is, but that's actually a good gym. I like that. So, but I'm gonna take Nunes. I think she gets it done by decision. Yeah. And y'all know me. My boy Kappa Comparison knows me. If you got two hoes in there, you gotta go by decision. And Kappa, when you do your show, you better quote me. I better hear. I better hear that come out your mouth, man. Oh man. Oh yeah. Actually, I don't know if Ali's gonna see this, but actually got a message from my boy Capper Comparison. There's this cat named Ali Fight Predictions. You should probably get him on there. He's really got really good, and this is the first time he's done it early, so good on him. He's somebody you should put on your show. I'd like to see him on your show. Ali Fight Predictions. Just I'll say that one more time for you. And I know you in the car when you be listening to this, so stay safe. Don't get no car accidents. But after you're done with your ride, go type his name in. Go put him in there. It would make me a happy person if you get him in there. He's good predictor. I like him a lot. Ramiz, Brahimaj versus Sasha. Palatnikov is the next one I'm going to talk about. God damn, came through with the names though. I need some fucking credit for that. Saying that shit. Ramiz is 8-3, 28, hot of 5'10" and reached 73. Sasha 6-3, fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada, age 32, height 6'1", and reaches 72.5. Y'all know me. I'm not a big fan of the Sasha cat. You can't trust a dude named Sasha, bro. That's one thing. That's one thing. And a homeboy was talking a lot of mess about Tyron Woodley, and we saw what happened to him against Impa. He basically quit. He did all that talking about Woodley on the Instagram, and he thought he was all big and bad after he beat the Kosei brother, and then he went out there doing the tap. I enjoyed that. I think I watched that twice. I don't know why. Ramiz, I mean, we know what Ramiz is good at. He's a grappler. But he's an opportunistic grappler. He's not like a really good grappler, like in terms like he'll force the grappling. If he sees the opportunity, he'll go for the takedown. But against Max Griffin gave him no looks for takedowns. Max Griffin was in his face, boxing him up. And I guess Ramiz wanted to engage in the boxing, and he didn't go for no takedowns. I get it when you're a grappler. If you don't see the takedown, or you don't feel like you can do it at that moment, you're not confident in yourself, yeah, you're not going to go for it. But the real question is, why aren't you confident in yourself? It's something you felt during training, or it is what it is, or maybe his opponent gave him a different vibe. Now, Max Griffin has been winning lately, so no shame in that. But, I mean, Sasha, he's a striker, and he's a tough striker. I'll give him that. In the striking department, he doesn't really quit. But when he gets... he's not a grappler. He's basically a kickboxer. He is kind of chinny. Ramiz, in his last fight, he proved how tough he was. He was getting lit up. And, it basically came down to a doctor stoppage. He does fight at a good gym, Fortis MMA. Those guys, they don't really do bad on cards. Like, I know, I think Uriah Hall lost last week. But, I mean, Jin Yu Frey got the W. So, they're... that's my phone. But they're really good at just getting W's. That's something I'll always give them credit for. They might not, get the big wins, but they're good at, winning fights in general. I think I gotta take Ramiz. I'm gonna take him by decision. He could finish Sasha. I could see him submitting Sasha. But I don't know. I think Ramiz, he's a newcomer in this game, so I think he still has them like, butterflies in, and Sasha, he's kind of tough, I might not like the cat, but he is kind of tough. I give him credit. That Kosei victory, I rewatched it. I give him a lot of credit for that. Clay Guida versus Marco Madsen. Man, this breaks my heart. Marco Madsen is a legit wrestler. Y'all know me. I love my Olympians. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a really good freestyle wrestler, but that's the issue. Now, and I'm going to go into this and talk about, you're dealing in Clay Guida, the Carpenter, legend, but Clay is a folk style wrestler, and there's a big difference between freestyle and folk style wrestling that transition into MMA. There's more, folk style wrestling is the stuff you see in high school, and there's you see more focus on control. Not that there's a big focus on controlling your guy on the ground, top and bottom, right? But you see more of control, right, in folk style wrestling. You basically have that top bottom position in between periods, periods of rounds. Basically, they don't call it rounds; they call it periods in wrestling. But just so you guys know what I'm talking about. But in between the periods, right, you'll see that. in freestyle wrestling, that just is not a thing. It's all about the takedown, and they're only on the ground for like 5 seconds, and the control, it's a different kind of control. It's a tight waist grip, right? In freestyle wrestling, let's see if you can get the rollover, or a gator, stuff like that, right? Nothing real legit in terms of, now the takedowns are legit. A lot of freestyle wrestlers have some of the best, most beautiful takedowns I've seen. Great suplexes, great lifts. So Mark Madsen has shown in his MMA career to make that, basically that dive back to the matchup. He's shown great wrestling. He's shown great, not great wrestling, I'll say that, and great suplexes, and just a lot of fun transitions and scrambles. Now, Clay Guida isn't necessarily a special wrestler. He's not going to pick you up and slam you. He could, but he's a grinder, right? He'll get the single leg and he'll drag you down, and it might not be that impressive to look at it compared to Marco Madsen that can, that picks someone's up and then runs to the other side of the octagon and slams them, right? But the difference is, Clay can do that forever. Like he can do literally that single leg drag, and it might look lazy or unimpressive to you. It might just look like some hump boy stuff, but he can do that for a long time. Marco Madsen cannot, and that's where I think it differs. His Austin Hubbard performance was good, but it is what it is. Austin Hubbard damn near almost won that fight in the third round. He almost got him. And, you could see Mark was tired, and he hasn't fought since then. It's been at least a year and 4 months. That was UFC 248. Clay Guida is coming off a victory of Michael Johnson. He surprised me. I'll give him that. I didn't think he was going to get it done, but he got it done. He fights out of a great team. I shouldn't call it great. I might piss off my boy SSG for calling it great. But he comes out, he's coming from a decent team. Alpha male. They're on a roll. I think Clay Guida, I think he's a better striker too. I've seen Marco Madsen hit pads. It's not good, but that's not his job, right? He's a wrestler. I think Clay Guida is gonna get the job done. I think he's gonna get him tired. I think after the second round, after Mark feels the takedown defense, and he's like, "Oh my God, this guy is not done." I think it's gonna break him, and then I could even say Clay getting a finish damn near. Like, I could see it, I could see it, almost like a Rodolfo Vieira situation. I'm starting to really, really imagine it, but I'm not going to assume that. I think Clay Guida is going to get the W here. I think defensive wrestling, almost counter wrestling is going to be his, how he wins this fight. I don't think Clay is going to shoot for a takedown until the third round, and I think I think that's how it's going to go. I think Mark's going to win the first, and I think Clay's going to take the 2 and 3. So, no disrespect to Mark, but, I don't know, man. 36 years old. I know, and Clay's 39. I don't even think Mark's in his prime. I get it. He started MMA late, but it is what it is. Next fight, Luis Saldaña versus Austin Lingo. I'm going to keep this short. Luis Saldaña lost his last fight. He knows it. I know it. The world knows it. Jordan Griffin should have won that fight. I don't even care. Austin Lingo, he fought Jacob Kill. Nothing impressive there, but Luis Saldaña, I don't really got. I know he's coming off that. He's coming off that Contender Series win over. A complete midget if I've ever seen one. I gotta go Austin Lingo. I'm gonna keep it short. I know Saldaña got the reach advantage, but there's nothing. I was really not impressed with Saldaña's last fight, and I thought Jordan Griffin, he ran circles through him, so it is what it is. Next fight, Vinc Pichel versus Austin Hubbard. Austin Hubbard's a good fighter, man. He is a good, grindy fighter. Vinc Pichel, also a decent fighter, but he's coming off that, dominating win over Jim Miller and Roosevelt Roberts, which is interesting. He does have that loss of Gregor Gillespie. Gregor is a monster. He beat Joaquim Silva, and he has a win over Damian Brown. That was 4 years ago. He does have the reach advantage, but he's 38 years old. He's a good wrestler. He's a good grinder. We know what he's here to do, but Austin Hubbard, he's shown great takedown defense, great grappling. He's a bit of a slow starter, but man, can he win the second and third. He knows how to win fights. He's been on a weird rocky road. He's kind of winning and losing. It's kind of going back and forth. But the guy he's losing to, Joseph Slike has proven to be a good fighter. Marco Madsen, I feel like personally, if Austin Hubbard had an extra few more rounds, he would have won that fight. But it is what it is. But yeah, he beat Max Korskov. Fucking hurt him bad. And then he beat Dakota Bush, who came on, late replacement fight. Legit guy too, and that guy looked like he was ready to win. And Austin Hubbard got the day. Now, can Vinc Pichel get the grab? It's gonna be an interesting fight. We're gonna see how good Austin Hubbard's takedown defense is, and we're gonna see how good Vinc Pichel's wrestling is. So it's gonna be interesting. Next fight: Chase Sherman versus Parker Porter. Parker Porter. I know one thing, man. He won his last fight, so I'll just say it like that. And over a complete doofus that tricked everyone, Josh Parson. I don't know why I thought that dummy was good. Contender Series, they'd be playing games. Chase Sherman, Vanilla Gorilla. He's not necessarily the best fighter in the world, but he's competent. He has a reach advantage in this matchup. He looked good in his Ike Villanueva fight. His striking looked good, so I don't know what to say. I'm gonna pick Chase Sherman. Parker Porter's just a grappler at the end of the day, and he's not even like a finisher. He's just trying to basically hump you. I think he has that. I think he lost to Gabriel Gonzaga, right? I think, or he beat Gabriel Gonzaga. I don't know, but I know he got knocked the fuck out by Chris Dalcos, and I remember he was a big favorite, and I ended up picking Chris to get the W. So that was pretty cool to watch. He's 36 years old. He competed against John Jones, so I'll give him that. He's actually fought greatness, but he isn't great. Chase Sherman should get the W here. I think he's fought better competition. I'll just say that. Chase Sherman by decision. And I think he's a funny guy. I'll never forget when he went to war with pro wrestling fans and said their fucking sport is fake. And I used to watch pro wrestling too, so no disrespect to no pro wrestling fans, but that cracked me up, man. That cracked me like crazy. I remember he just was going to war with them dudes. Next fight, William Knight versus Fabio Cherant, I think. Cherant? I don't know. William Knight is a decent fighter. Fabio is an alright fighter. He does have a reach advantage here. I am surprised by that. Both guys seem to me like kind of bloated up middleweights when I look at them. I think Fabio, I don't want to mispronounce the kid's name. He seems like a good kid. Water Buffalo, which is a funny nickname. 6'1", 76 inch. That's not bad. But I don't like playing MMA math, but William Knight did beat Aleska Kimura. Fabio did get knocked out by Kimura, and Kimura has proven to be a complete nobody lately. So it is what it is. Fabio made Alonzo Menifield look kind of good by getting choked out. I think he's good on the feet. Like, he's a good striker. I'll give him that. And he might give William Knight some problems in that department, but I think William Knight has proven to be a grappler. He's jacked as fuck, though. I know he lost to Jung. I saw that one coming. I thought Jung was just a massive person, but in terms of the height and the size, William Knight won't be too outsized here. And Fabio has shown some holes in the grappling, and I think William Knight should be able to exploit that. But you never know. Brian Kelleher versus Domingo. Sorry for the interruption, y'all. My bad. A computer kind of shorted out for a second. I was talking a little bit by myself, and I didn't realize it. It turned off. But yeah, man, back to Brian Kelleher versus Domingo Pilarte. I think that's his name. Brian Kelleher's fought for, man, he's been in the game for a minute. 22-12. He's beaten some decent fighters. The big one was the Hunter Azor fight for him. He was a big underdog in that one. That's probably the better win of his last three. Or not his last three, just his last three wins in general. He's lost to some good competition. Cody Stamen, fucking Ricky Simone. Good wrestlers right there. No shame in that. Domingo, he got knocked out by Journey Newsman. Journey has a really good overhand. I don't know, but he got knocked out by Randy Costa, so then I don't know. Then he lost to Felipe Corrales via split decision, and then he has a win over Vince Morales and Adrian Yanez via split decision. So he has some decent wins, but I just feel like Kelleher's just his experience. Yeah, can Domingo use his reach maybe, but because he does have a reach advantage a lot, actually, a 10-inch reach advantage, which is crazy. But I think Kelleher is a good dog in here, and I think he can get the W. He needs to win. Coming off of a loss, I think he needs to win a lot. Next fight, and obviously I got Kelleher by decision. Next fight, Pantoja versus Royval. I do have a breakdown on this coming out, so I'll keep it short. I got to go Pantoja. Royval got treated like a little kid against Moreno, and I enjoyed every second of it. Y'all was hyping him up. No, I don't hate the kid, but he fights like a dummy. I'm sorry, the Kai Kara France fight was, complete ignorance. I know I'm gonna sound like a complete hater, and I don't apologize. So it is what it is. Kid has, literally the most awkward style, and I think that's how he's catching guys, is because he's so awkward. So yeah, it is what it is. But Moreno took care of him, but that isn't a bad loss set. But I think Pantoja is also gonna take care of him, teach him a valuable lesson about, fight like a normal person, But I think Royval, wherever he wants this fight, he can win it. Not Royval, Pantoja, wherever he fights, wants this fight, he can win it on the ground, on the feet. Besides Royval being a dummy and just doing some spinning shit, just to do spinning shit, Pantoja should win this. I got Pantoja by decision. And in the main event, my boy KG versus Jared Cannonier. Y'all know me. I love me some KG. That's my boy. Really hard fight for him. I do actually have a breakdown on this. But really hard fight for him because Jared Cannonier. Both guys coming off losses to Whitaker. Both guys really want to win. Both guys can knock each other out. Jared's been knocking more people out recently. I think KG's last victory via knockout was it Bisping? I think it was Bisping, just off the top of my head. Cannonier has the reach advantage, so those are things to look at. But in terms of, I think KG has a wrestling advantage, and we've seen Cannonier kind of struggle with some wrestlers. He got taken down by Whitaker and Hermanson. So I think KG, if he can get out of those early rounds, Cannonier's, I feel like his power kind of leaves. But he did, I could go more in depth with it. I got to go KG by 4th round TKO. He's the dog here. And yeah, I think KG is a good pick. I think the wrestling, and he has real legit power, like legit knockout power. And I think he's gonna have faster hands than Cannonier. So I gotta go KG by 4th round TKO. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is all. That is it. That is all of my predictions. I don't know why I couldn't talk for a second. Super late right now. I gotta keep my mouth shut. Before Mama eBay whoop my ass. But it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do not forget to follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram. At the end of the day, subscribe, like, comment, share the video. Sorry. About to go to sleep. But yeah, it is what it is. Share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all and goodbye.